Hidden Inventory episode 2 is our banger episode. I don't think I need to tell or explain why. Mappa has really been killing it. I love the additional scenes. When they say they were going to add some, they were not playing. I feel like we're going to get even more when we get past this arc, which is when all of the interesting stuff and all the cool reveals and plots are probably going to get even more crazy because they might add some little more substance onto the already perfect arc. But in this one, we got more of best dad of all time, Toji, more of Geto, Gojo, and the introduction of Riko and Kuroi. And then this one, obviously, we focusing on Toji and what he's got under the shadows and what he's got planned for Gojo and Geto as he's following what they're doing with Riko. And we also pretty much get the showcase of Geto and Gojo showing out their abilities against the guys that are hunting for Riko. We got Geto versus the OG, and then we got Gojo up against the bad clone where he uses his bag and he uses blue laps, he uses his curse technique reversal. He does all of the things that we know him for. Not gonna waste any more time though, let's get right into it. We might as well start with Toji because I want to get him out the way because obviously he's the GOAT. So Megumi's father, greatest dad of all time, one of the greatest pops you could ever ask for. You know, I don't think he really does anything wrong. I think he does everything that you want a father to do. Even if he forgets your name, you just know that he's out there doing what he needs to do. He's a buff, badass dude in raggedy clothing. You know, he's putting the bounties on people's heads. He's doing what he's supposed to do. But Toji looked amazing in this. I think they really are detailing his face, especially with that scar. It's just kind of surreal still seeing him finally animated. And if you're a JoJo's fan, it is still weird hearing Dio's voice actor with him. It's gonna take me a while to just adjust and not keep thinking about Dio with him. I do like how they slowed the scenes down a little bit for Toji, like the gambling, the multiple scenes of him gambling, kind of giving you an aspect of how he approaches his money and how he kind of views life. And he ain't much of a winner. He's pretty much someone that's gonna strike out a lot when it comes to putting his money on the line. You know, he might come up with someone that's kind of really laid back, someone who obviously kind of is a little brutish, very, very intelligent. He's not someone that you really want to doubt in terms of how high his IQ is, because even though he knows he's going up against Gojo and it's a young Gojo, he is not someone that's going to risk going in one-on-one, oppose Gojo face to face. He knows it's not the game plan. Obviously, he's got his own plan set in motion when it comes to dealing with Gojo, and that bounty is going to do a lot of help for him when it comes to going after Riko and getting his money. Flipping over to Geto and Gojo, I love the additional scene in the beginning of Geto making tea before he sits down and lets his curses gobble up his Q member. Very reminiscent of Chainsaw Man where Aki making his coffee. I could definitely see they took a similar route when it comes to animating that. But just like in the manga, they're portraying Geto and Gojo's confidence with their powers at the highest level. They're not really stressing anything when it comes to a lot of these people that they're going up against, because Gojo, as of right now, is technically the strongest character in this arc, and the number 2 is definitely Geto. So we didn't even need to see them actually fight them. They pretty much off-screen these two, who are pretty much fodder, showing you the gap between them and everyone else they're opposing. And we also get the official introduction of Riko. Very cheerful girl, kind of has like a hero complex when it comes to how she thinks this Tengen thing is gonna go down. Although Tengen, you being Tengen does not make you a hero, because obviously if you read the manga, does not really go the way she thinks it's gonna go. And Geto and Gojo obviously know this, so they're kind of trying to break it down to her like, this ain't really something you want to put your whole life into. And that's something that JJK does amazing throughout a lot of characters. Is we have Riko, Geto, Gojo, and then Tengen, all 4 characters who, even though we haven't physically seen Tengen, we can assume that he or she has a different ideology. All 4 have different ideologies in terms of how they're even approaching this whole assimilation with Tengen. Even Yaga isn't even a fan of really what's going on, but he's just doing it because he was told to, and he doesn't even know himself how all this is going to play out, but he thinks it's just better for the Jujutsu world to just have her be the vessel. And they stress consistently, especially throughout this episode, of how important it is to watch over her and monitor her and protect her, because if she does die, now we don't know what's going to happen with Tengen and the whole barriers and Tengen keeping us all together. They don't know how that's going to play out. Fast forward into the high octane moments, we got Gojo, Geto, and Kuroi on the run looking for Rika to try to save her because the bounty has been posted by Toji's assistant. I do not know that guy's name at the moment. Kind of don't care because it's not really relevant at all. But they're on the run, they're at her school, and they're looking for And my favorite part is not the Gojo part, it's the Geto part. In the manga, this is already hilarious, but in the anime, it's even funnier. Runs into the hallway, meets up with the old man, who's also a Shikigami wielder, uses Shikigamis to fight, so he thinks similar to Geto. Oh, he doesn't want to fight me close range like that, even though he's not ready for this Shankai I got coming. He's a young guy, he's not as experienced as me, he may have a more powerful technique, but he doesn't know about the little tricks that us with experience will gain over the time, so he just heavily doubting Geto. As soon as he jumps through that window, his life flashes before his eyes. And we get this cute dog showing. For a second, you're kind of confused as to what's going on. But the second that you realize he's in a flashback, you already know what time it is. Geto, even though he is a cursed spirit manipulator, and he is someone that you would kind of call, like in a fighting game, a zoner, he has no problem throwing hands. And that's exactly what he gave this old man, put him in the early retirement. Jesus, this combo is so cold in the anime. The manga though, the still panels that we got were also pretty raw, so I'm gonna put those up if you haven't seen them. This whole moment was my favorite, especially with the school choir singing in the background. This was definitely fire. I love what Mappa did with this. This is real clever. Also got a cool scene of Kuroi beating up one of the bad clones, just basically kicking him in the nuts, which is always effective. Painful, but effective. And of course we got this nigga Gojo up next. And Gojo, before he had to go to work with the bad clone fight, had to stop by, grab Riko to keep her safe, went into the church, and with no word spoken, enters the church, and every single girl that was in there was falling for the boy Gojo.
Doing the things that I never would know. Treat me like what geez. Don't get me dirty. Love on me.
Even the teacher had to slide him the number, even though you would think that's kind of illegal, because she gotta be at least like 15 years older than him, maybe 10 years, I don't know. Well, it is Japan, I don't think they really give a fuck at this point. But Gojo grabs Riko, goes over and sees the bad clone dude. Pretty good technique, by the way, guy that can clone himself and transmit his main body throughout the multiple clones. Really cool. Just imagine someone like Toto with his boogie woogie and the additional cloning will be pretty clean with that. But of course Gojo dominates this fight using blue laps to bring them together. He also explains infinity a little bit more in this. Now, since I cover JJK damn near religiously on this channel, and even when I'm not on YouTube, to give you like a very, very easy way to remember Gojo's abilities, because obviously if you're not going to remember the infinity and the numbers and the neutral and the negative, always remember that Gojo, what he's doing is basically controlling the infinite space that is controlled throughout his body and around his body. With blue, he pulls people and closes the gap in the infinity between him and his opponent. The infinite veil, he's pretty much stopping anything from getting within range of him. And with red, he transmits that power and outputs it, and pretty much creating a huge energy blast, which, to sum it up even more, blue is the law of attraction, red is repulsion, and hollow purple, which we haven't seen since season 1, is just going to erase everything that is in between its space. I think I've seen someone on Twitter just basically call it blue is pull shit, red is blast shit, and then purple is eliminate shit. Whatever helps you remember it, because I ain't gonna hold you, it's a lot of people that do not even know what the purpose of Gojo's powers is. And then with the 6 eyes, it makes it a lot easier for him to control the infinity and to look at other people's curse energy levels, like he did with Yuji in season 1 after the battle with Anami, and he can get a glimpse at the curse technique you kind of have with the 6 eye. Another amazing episode. Got to see more of Toji and learn more about him, more about Gojo's techniques. And I love the fact that with the 6 eyes and Limitless, they showed the past episodes as he's describing what he's doing, as he's talking to the guy. I thought that was super cool. It was really clever that they did that. We got to see Geto's technique. I told y'all, I really feel like this animation style is gonna suit Geto's curse technique more than it will Gojo's, because I really like how Geto's curse spirits look. And in the next episode, which next episode is going to be pretty crazy, we're gonna see more of the adventures of Riko, Geto, and Gojo, and what's gonna happen from here. Leave a like, comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll let y'all in the next one. Peace. I low-key forgot some shit to talk about.